Hello, this is Lee, licensed acupuncturist and herbalist. Today I'd like to talk about sleep. Sleep is very important. Sleep disorder affects up to 70 million people, and it can cause $100 billion in car accident, medical bills, and loss of work. And if you don't sleep well, your immune function get weaker and you get infection, autoimmune disease, and then your nervous system is out of balance. Then you get a panic attack, um, anxiety, and also it influences your heart function. So you can get irregular heartbeat, AFib. And today I like to talk to Bob, who has served in the army um, for how many years?
2 years. Yeah, my name is Bob Wynot. I'm a 75-year-old man. I did serve in the service and came home as a veteran. When I first had problems sleeping, I was self-employed and I was running a business at the time. And when I would go to work in the morning, I would get one of those quart stainless steel containers, fill it up with regular coffee, and I would go to work and I would drink that during the day. And I might even, when that was empty, I might even have another coffee at night.
At night? What
Well,
time? Like
well,
6,
5
7?
o'clock, 6 o'clock,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
And my body was able to tolerate it at first, but as the caffeine built up into my system, I noticed that I was having problems sleeping. And with my job, I had a lot of thoughts going through my head as far as things that I had to do to get ready for the next day. And what had happened before I realized that caffeine was affecting my sleep is that I would not sleep at all. I would get up and I would go downstairs and I would work on papers or bills or different things I had to do to keep my business going. I would go to work the next day. I would come home, the same thing. I would get my coffee. I would come home, and then I would either crash or I was able to sleep maybe 3 to 5 hours of sleep. I did go see a doctor for that problem, and
How old were you at that
at
time?
that time I was probably in my early 40s, or right around 40. And I went to see my primary care doctor, and it didn't take long for him to be discussing things to realize I have to cut down on the caffeine, and try to do my work at normal hours and not at
During the
night
night.
or even think about it. And that did help. And I went through probably a period of 15 to 20 years where I was having no problem sleeping at all. And more recently, I started to get away from drinking diet sodas, caffeine, Coca Cola. I switched off to
Decaf.
decaf coffee, and I limited myself to maybe two 16-ounce cups of decaf coffee. But what I replaced with the Coca-Cola and Pepsi-Cola, I replaced it with like Pure Leaf black tea and some other zero calorie because I was trying to cut down on my sugar. And I did cut down on my sugar and I was able to lose weight.
How
But
much you lose?
well, through diet and through cutting out Pepsi Cola and different things, watching what I was eating, I lost about 25 to 28 pounds in maybe 6 months.
How about the tea? Do you think how many cups of tea you drink and
Well, yeah,
how's your sleep?
yeah, they're packaged in 18-ounce bottles. The black tea, the pure leaf black tea, is 78 milligrams of caffeine per bottle. I was drinking maybe 4 of those a day, and if I drank something else, I really wasn't concerning myself with the caffeine content in the beverages. I drank a lot of water, but other drinks, I didn't concern myself with the caffeine until insomnia and until I started to have reoccurring sleeping problems. And at this time, it really had nothing to do with my work and yeah, and not coffee, but I was getting caffeine from other ways. I might have been watching television and I would go from 11 o'clock after watching a TV program and try and go straight to bed, which took me a minute to unwind. But I think the excess caffeine also brought on some slight insomnia problems that I had to deal with. I'm fine right now.
So how much tea you drink? 1 or 2 cups now?
Of like the pure tea?
Yeah, the black tea.
Yeah, the black tea, I'll only have 1 of those a day.
Just one, right?
Just one,
Before
yeah.
You drink like
4 of them,
yeah. That's a little too much.
Yeah.
Because you said 1 bottle is 75 grams
yeah,
of
yeah,
caffeine.
it's pretty high.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it would be. And the green tea still has caffeine in it, but I believe the green tea, it's less,
yeah,
maybe
less than black tea.
35 or 40. Right?
Yeah. And also, comparing tea and coffee, tea can stabilize your blood sugar, and coffee stimulates insulin release, so your blood sugar can drop very fast. That's why when people drink coffee and they feel hungry, they have to eat. And when you eat high sugar stuff, and then it converted into fat right away, because your body does not burn the fat so fast, the sugar so fast. So it will be converted into fat and stored. And on the other hand, the tea slows down this process. So tea drinker always have more stabilized blood sugar. It won't go up too high or go down too low. And that will also help us maintain healthy weight. So if 1 cup of coffee does not influence your sleep, then you can keep 1, but if it started influencing your sleep, then you need to switch tea or cut half cup, because the caffeine does influence the sleeping center in your brain, and sleep is very important for the healthy life.